Hello everyone, Tom with Capo Fetish. Today on the channel, we're going to talk about some psychedelic bubblegum songs from the 60s. I've got a few here of my faves to offer up, so I'm going to start off here with a song that was the follow-up single to the Strawberry Alarm Clock's Incense and Peppermints. Of course, this is a #1 song here back in 1967 during the Summer of Love. A lot of people don't know their follow-up single. It only hit number 23 on the charts, but it's a real gem. There's a different singer on this particular song than Incense and Peppermints. It's definitely much more poppy, much more bubblegum. And the song is called Tomorrow. Hit 23 on the charts. Really, really cool song. And what I really love in the midsection, there is a lyric that goes, "We're living in a world of carnivals and clowns." Was Strawberry Alarm Clock talking about 2025? Were they prophets of 2025? Perhaps. But it's a very short track, and if you dig Strawberry Alarm Clock or a good bubblegum psychedelia, this is a really great track, and it ends with this on this really cool note. So highly recommend it if you haven't heard it. Tomorrow by the Strawberry Alarm Clock. Of course, we got to throw this one in. I love this track. This is just pretty much screams bubblegum psychedelia, and it's Green Tambourine by the Lemon Pipers on one of my favorite 45 labels ever. I love the art on this label here, the Buddha, and just all that psychedelia going around it. My favorite part of Green Tambourine is not the fake sitar guitar playing on it. It's the weird, distorted, kind of eerie sounding backup vocals. To me, that really highlights the song for me and gives it that kind of weird psychedelia thing, pop thing. I always love when those weird kind of angular sounding backup vocals come into the mix. It's fantastic. This is a #1 hit back in early '68. It was released in late '67, and a fantastic track. Green Tambourine by the Lemon Pipers. How about a bubblegum novelty psychedelic track by John Fred and his Playboy Band? Talking about Judy in Disguise with Glasses, which is kind of a play on words of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. This was another #1 hit in early 1968, and they use all the how would you say it, the typical psychedelic treatments, the kind of the build up, the day in the life thing in the midsection, but it's more of a novelty track. I think it's kind of cool. And it fits in with this particular topic today, bubblegum psychedelia. So Judy in Disguise with Glasses by John Fred and his Playboy Band from 1968. Now, the Lovin Spoonful were not really known for psychedelia. They were a folk rock jug band. But on the single, the flip side of the single, She Is Still a Mystery to Me, is a really cool track sung by drummer Joe Butler. And the track is called Only Pretty, What a Pity. This is probably about as most psychedelic as the Lovin Spoonful ever got. If you want to see a really cool video, check out the YouTube video of the Lovin Spoonful playing on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1967. It's in really cool HQ, HD kind of color format. And they've got Jerry Yester on piano on the song, right? And in the midsection where it gets all psychedelia and you don't know what's going on with the voice is all freaked out. He's singing into a hairdryer. And then at that midpoint section, Joe Butler, the drummer, is dropping a bunch of cups on the ground. Then he hops back on the kit. And a really good live version. I don't think he's even lip syncing to the cut, Joe Butler. He is singing straight into the mic, and it's a fantastic vocal. I think he was a really great singer. Of course, John Sebastian's the leader, and he's got that incredibly well-honed earth voice. But Joe Butler really sang some great tracks through their catalog, and this is one of them. And it's definitely really the only real, you could say, bubblegum track from the Lovin Spoonful. Bubblegum psychedelia. Oh, pretty, what a pity. The flip side of She's Still a Mystery to Me, and this was also featured, both these songs featured on their final album before John Sebastian left, called Everything Playing from 1967. Tommy James and the Shondells, Crimson and Clover, another #1 bubblegum psychedelic hit from 1968. I'm sure you've heard Joan Jett's version. A lot more rocking, a lot more power. This has a charm all its own. A lot of effects on the voice. You know, that kind of, what is it, vibrato voice going on there on the during the chorus towards the end. What really puzzles me about Tommy James and the Shondells is that, I mean, they weren't really renowned for an albums band, but they really put out a variety of singles in the 60s that all sounded different. This is a really cheap compilation I picked up decades ago. I think it was at Sears. And I mean, when you look at these songs, Crimson and Clover, right? Sounds totally different than Crystal Blue Persuasion from the year following. Moni Moni, which Billy Idol covered. You got I Think We're Alone Now, which Tiffany covered. Hanky Panky, which I think was their first hit from like 63, 64. Or was it 66? It sounds like it came from 63. But anyway, Crimson and Clover is a typical example of a bubblegum psychedelic track. And it's fantastic. And yeah, it's very dated, obviously sounding. But, you know, sometimes these dated songs have a charm. So Crimson and Clover by Tommy James and the Shondells, a number one from 1968. I've offered this album up a couple times in a few videos in the past. I think this is a fantastic sunshine pop band, but they also flirted with a little bit of psychedelic bubblegum on this particular album. It's their second album. It's The Circle. The album is called Neon. Now, The Circle were renowned for two huge hits prior to this album. Turn Down Day and Red Rubber Ball. Those were pretty big hits in 1966. They would also tour with the Beatles, their last U.S. concert tour of 66. They would also feature not only The Circle opening for the Beatles, Bobby Hebb, who had a huge single with Sonny, was part of the lineup, the Ronettes, and a group called the Remains. So yeah, The Circle was actually playing with the Fab Four on that last show at Candlestick Park and throughout that whole U.S. tour of 66. But back to the subject. So this is a really cool album, and it starts off with a really cool kind of psychedelic bubblegum track. Of course, it starts with that kind of guitar, fake sitar sound, right? It's not a real sitar, but it's like an effect, right? And a pedal. And the song is called Don't Cry, No Fears, No Tears Coming Your Way. It's a great opening track to a really fine album. And a great chorus. And if you've never heard this album, check it out. It is really, really strong for like a sunshine pop album. The Visit, Weight of Your World, I Wish You Could Be Here, It Doesn't Matter Anymore, Two Rooms. The first side is really stellar. The second side is notable for a real kind of a hit, not a real miss single, should we say. Not a real hit, but a really cool track. A great sunshine pop track called Please Don't Ever Leave Me. Really, really cool record here. The second album by The Circle called Neon. The track I'm highlighting is called, pull it up, it's called Don't Cry, No Fears, No Tears Coming Your Way. Really cool. Next one, I've got to throw this one in. This was a number one hit in, I think, late 67. It's the Cowsills, The Rain, the Park, and Other Things. I love The Flower Girl. Look at this opening. Look at this gatefold here. And them eating supper with all the members in the family. Eating supper, like my parents used to say. They never would say dinner. It was always supper. Here's the back cover of the whole family. And they would go on to influence the Partridge Family show a couple years later. You know, basically a family singing music, going on tour. But the Cowsills had some pretty cool tunes. They had that one from Hair, the Hair soundtrack. But I always thought it was charming, this track. The Rain, the Park, and Other Things. That all the sound effects and, you know, the chorus is so catchy. I mean, it's sunshine pop with a little bit of psychedelia thrown in there. Really good stuff. Cowsills, The Rain, the Park, and Other Things. How about The American Breed with a little bit of brass in the mix of this song, this hit. Bend Me, Shape Me from late 67, early 68. It's another really cool track. It's kind of flirting with psychedelia a little bit. Even the horns sound a little disconnected from the track, which I kind of like. And it's not a real long song. It's got a great chorus. The American Breed, Bend Me, Shape Me, Any Way You Want It. 1967. And I was talking about the Monkees. Monkees had a lot of sunshine pop, and they had some great sunshine pop psychedelia, bubblegum. The Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones limited album ends with a track called Star Collector, written by Carole King and Goffin, her husband. The first use of, one of the first uses of a Moog synthesizer in a song. There's another track on here too. I think is it Daily Nightly, where they use that Moog synthesizer. Davy Jones on lead vocals, a lot of Moog, a lot of just, a lot of crazy nonsense going on in this track. I always liked this track as a child. That was really cool. I think this is a really fine album. I mean, really. I mean, The Door into Summer, Love is Only Sleeping, Words, Cuddly Toy, Pleasant Valley Sunday, Daily Nightly. There's a really cool kind of almost loungy kind of laid back track at the end of side 2, Don't Call on Me. I think Mike Nesmith sings on that. But the song we're highlighting here is Star Collector for the Psychedelic Bubblegum. So there you go, folks. If you have any to add to the comment section, as always, please throw them in the comments section and let's shoot the shit. I love talking to you guys. And as always, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, you dig the content on this channel. If you've been following the channel, just press subscribe. I'd appreciate it. As always, thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.